So
Maycee,
quiet.
it is. Well, first of all, congratulations on the victory. I'm curious, how did the fight play out in there compared to, the game plan that you and your team had put together for Katlyn?
I mean, my plan was to go down and finish her in the first round. So obviously, the fight played out a little bit differently than I had in my mind. But I went out there to fight and to win and to finish. And she's a vet. So I went out there and proved that I also am someone who is in the division and pushed past that gate. And I want my rematch.
Well, you obviously you came out red hot in that first round looking for the finish. At any point in that round where you're like, all right, I need to step back for a second and kind of, not blow my load so quickly, and this might turn out to be a 15-minute fight?
No, I mean, I was prepared to go all 3 rounds, whether I needed to or not. And I'm going to give it everything I got no matter what. So I definitely wanted to go out there and get the finish in the first round. And I know that I'm ready to continue to push no matter what.
The commentary used phrases like, you were bullying her in there, especially against the fence when you were
Good.
kind of holding her. So I guess, do you like that description of your fighting style? And was there anything in there kind of difficult with Katlyn in there? Because even though you were holding her, she was still trying to be as active as she could.
I do love that they thought I was bullying her because that's exactly what I wanted to do. I think the only thing that is, I mean, she's a vet, right? So she was prepared in a lot of positions. I didn't feel like she was as strong as me, but she definitely had the length, and she had obviously that skill. So it's like a lot of things that I was wanting to do, she was ready for, and so I had to be like, okay, we have this step, then this step, then this step, So, but at the end of the day, I wanted to go out there, bully, and dominate, and that's exactly what I did.
She obviously made a lot of headlines from her media day, kind of going over what she's been through over the last 12 months since her last fight. I'm curious if you get to speak with her after, because that was a pretty emotional media day. I don't know if you were able to see it from Wednesday.
I mean, to be honest, I haven't paid any attention to her media. I typically don't pay attention to anything other than going out there and imposing my own will on other people. So after the fight, the only thing we talked about was, now we can train together. Is what she said to me. So I was like, oh, yeah, absolutely. I actually haven't gotten to go watch, so I'll have to go watch.
And you obviously you want that rematch with Alexa, but it was also announced that she's coaching the fighter with Valentina. So are you willing to maybe wait, or do you want to be active? Do you want to be on that card as maybe a backup just in case? What would you like the rest of your year to look like?
Yeah, I think that given that it was announced that they're going to be having the trilogy, most likely, I definitely want to be the backup for that fight. I want my rematch, and I think I'm the perfect person for it. There's a lot of other girls in the division that have, some skill, but they're boring fighters. And I'm not a boring fighter, and I know that that would be the main event, and that would be a title fight for sure. And it'd be a great one. So there's a big story behind that too. The rematch with Alexa Grasso would be huge. I don't know if I would necessarily would wait. I don't. That's something I have to talk to Dana and Mick and Hunter and everyone about. So we'll be figuring that out soon.
Last one for me. Regardless of whether it is Alexa or maybe the winner of Aaron and Manon, are you expecting at least a main event in your next fight? Because the commentary after said, from this point on, it's number one contender fights and main events for you moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I deserve a main event spot. I'm 14-2 now. I'm 25 years old, and I'm an exciting fighter. So I feel like I've worked my butt off to get to here. And I wanted to finish this fight, but it was an exciting fight, and I went out there and I proved that I belong here, in that top spot and in that main event spot. So I don't know why we gave Manon and Aaron, two boring fighters, the main event spot, because I don't know if anyone really cares about that.
Basically, just a quick one right here. We saw JoJo retire tonight. She actually fought in the first women's flyweight fight in the UFC against Valerie Letourneau back in the day. Just wondering if she's someone that you would watch coming up, and if you had anything to say about that.
She is. I've watched her. Obviously being someone who has come up in the sport and also in the flyweight division. I used to watch JoJo. I actually was a huge fan of hers before I was even fighting, and so to see her continue to fight and then also now retire is she's a cool person, and I've hung out with her a few times, and I've gotten to be around her a few times. So I think that it's great. She had a great career, and she's definitely an inspiration to all female fighters. So I congratulate her on her entire career.
Thank you.
Thank you.